What's up, guys? Joel Vallie from Media Glitch here, and we're live. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's no longer live, but we are here on Twitch. I got some awesome friends with me. I got the Phat Samurai Guy. How are you, man?
What's going on, brother? First time hanging out with all of the gaming legends at once. Fuck the Justice League. Fuck the Avengers. That's right. It's all about Media Glitch and Kag. Lots of games and tree gaming.
Yes, sir.
Combining powers tonight, baby. Love it. Thanks for having me.
Phat Samurai Guy. I've been on his show multiple times. I'm trying to get on there Thursday. Oh no, we lost Jimmy, and just like that, he's gone.
The Joker's got Jimmy again.
And so we are going to do an episode. We're shooting an episode right now. Hopefully, I can see Jimmy when he comes in because I got it full screen this time.
All right.
But I also have Media Glitch's own Kag Man. Kag, say hello.
What's up, everybody? I'm happy to be back. It's a good night. I'm ready to get in.
And of course, we got Media Glitch's own
John from Mature Gaming. Just another fun Saturday night and an awesome video we're doing for you guys right now.
And we're hoping that Reggie will come in at some point as well. No one knows where he is. It's a mystery. So we'll have to figure that all out.
It's a mystery.
It's funny because I talked to him earlier. He said, what are we going to be playing? What are we going to do? So, and then we have everyone in the chat. You got X, we got Blue X, VG Legends. We got 92A10 coming in. So a bunch of people here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Now, what we're going to talk about today is what got us into video gaming. So I know I got my mom and my wife over in the other room talking. So if you hear them, I apologize. They're kind of loud, but just letting you know that's what you hear going on back there. Okay, so what got us into video games? All of us are gamers. Phat Samurai Guy, you do a movie show,
Yeah.
and all focused on movies, but a lot of times behind you, you have stacks of video games as well.
Yes.
So you are our special guest. I want to start off with you tonight.
All right.
And just tell us the story, like what got you hooked into gaming? What was that thing that brought you to love gaming and knew something that you knew you were going to do for the rest of your life?
Oh God.
Wait on.
Well, my return to gaming is actually going to start next week. I actually have it scheduled. I'm going to start getting back into Let's Plays so I can get like you guys, man. I got to get back into it. But movies my thing. That's right. Action, martial arts, horror, all that stuff. But let's go back 5,000 years. That's right. That's how old Phat Samurai Guy is. Right? That's right. I keep telling everybody that this haircut that I'm sporting, this is the motherfucking midlife crisis. Okay, that's what you call. That's the name of it. All right, that's the name. All right. So believe it or not, my church I used to go to, a little samurai running around. There was a donation for the kids, all the kids there. There was like a little gaming room, and there were 3 games. That's right. And the 3 arcade games was Asteroids, Galaga, and Mrs. Pac-Man. And the old Samurai Guy didn't have a home console yet, right? And those, it was for the kids. So it was kind of like, they rigged it so you could play when, as long as you want, right? So I played the shit out of Asteroids like every Sunday, Samurai Guy was down there. He was down there after the service was over playing. And I got hooked on that. But it was, and throughout the week too. But it was really an arcade game. It's not my favorite beat 'em up, but it was the one that made me go just really love gaming, and I was hooked. I had to get a home console, and then the rest is history. Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Atari 2600 with the motherfucking wood grain.
Yeah.
So we went bowling, and it was the worst bowling place ever. It was so ghetto, man. It was so bad, right? I don't even know if they gave out shoes. I just said they said, okay, just use your sneakers, go out there, it'll be all right. If you slip and fall, it's not our problem, right? Sign here. So it was so bad and ghetto, and I was so bored. I looked to the left, and they had one arcade machine, and I went all the way down there, and I was like, I hope this is cool. I hope this is cool. Let's see, what is it? What is this? What is Double Dragon? What is that?
Yes.
Oh my! And it blew my mind. That's right. It was really like the real first beat 'em up I played, and it blew my mind. And for all you younglings out there, you won't know the satisfaction. You're spoiled now. You won't know the satisfaction of picking up a baseball bat and busting a motherfucker over the head, or picking up a chain and hitting somebody. It was just like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. Double Dragon was the one. Now, of course, Ninja Turtles arcade cabinet and all that stuff. I have more favorite beat 'em ups than Double Dragon, but that was the one where I was like, Mom and Dad, we got to do something. Do I got to cut the lawn every day? What does little samurai guy got to do to earn that money and work hard so I can get some kind of home console? And that was it. Always loved video games. And scene.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that's a very good game to get you in the game. And Double Dragon, that was one of my favorites. I never experienced it in the arcade as a kid. My first experience with Double Dragon was a Commodore 64 version where only one enemy spawns on the screen at a time.
Oh,
but that's actually, Phat Samurai Guy, that's the very first game I ever beat was on the Commodore 64, Double Dragon. And I always loved that game. So that's awesome.
That's great.
My first, I do remember Double Dragon in the arcade and playing it, and then on the NES, and it was so hard. I felt like it just took forever to get to the end, and jumping in that game is not the greatest. So nothing sucked more than getting all the way to those last stages, and then they're falling into pits and crap.
Yes.
Oh, I suck playing it now. It's hard to play now. I can barely play it now.
So brutal in some aspects. But the actual arcade game, that was awesome. I really liked that. The Sega Master System, like the NES didn't have 2-player.
That's true.
But the Sega Master System did, which I was a Sega fanboy, so we won out on that one.
Sega.
So that's awesome. Does anyone else have a Double Dragon story?
Yeah, I loved it in the arcade, and I remember I was so excited to first play it on the NES, and just that me just wasn't there on the NES. But then I played on the I think it was because of the whole thing with the 2-player. In the Master System, my friend and I would play that one a lot, and we would get to the end, and no, I agree. The jumping in that game was not very good, but it was amazing. Just picking up bats or picking up barrels.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
So, what I need to do is I need to, I forgot, because Jimmy got cut out, to introduce you, Jimmy. Jimmy from Lots of Games. Jimmy, tell us a little bit about your channel so people know what they're getting into when they subscribe to Jimmy from Lots of Games.
Yeah, I love talking about, usually it's modern gaming, but I've been doing it since 2007. Have a whole lot of fun.
Like your episodes are retro gaming now, your first episodes.
Well, that's true. We're going to talk about retro gaming today for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's been quite the amazing year this year, because I've had the chance to play a whole lot of modern and retro gaming, just because back in March when I had COVID, I was quarantined and I got to play some of my favorite. I played through these games that I never got the chance to play through in the past, like Guardian Heroes. And so it was a blessing in disguise. But yeah, I've been doing YouTube for about 13 years, and it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being a part of it all. Appreciate it. So Double Dragon was Phat Samurai Guy. And okay, who should go next? Let's do, why not? We got Jimmy up here. Jimmy, what got you into gaming, man?
Okay, so, I think I was 5 or 6, and I knew what it was like to go watch a movie at the movie theater. I knew what it was like to watch TV in a living room. If you got your color television or whatever. But first time I ever saw an arcade cabinet, I was amazed that you could actually interact or move the character on the screen, and I was hooked instantly. And I don't even remember what the game was. And my grandparents, who were very, very conservative and were very, very thrifty, they thought it was the biggest waste in the world to spend $0.25 on an arcade unit. But I thought it was so much fun. And what really, really kind of took things to the next level, though, is when I was introduced to like the Atari 2600 and the Nintendo, that I could actually have a unit in my house. That was totally a game changer for me. Not just arcades, that was one thing, but to be able to have something in your house and hook it up to your TV, and I was hooked. So it was at a very young age. It opened my eyes like you would not believe.
Now, is there a certain game that to you?
So any gaming starting to get things fun. I was pulled into like adventure games and things that were pretty epic. And Ys Book 1 and 2. I know a lot of people have talked about this, but that's what it had the music, had that story that was really special to me. I don't know, just something that I didn't just play it. I replayed it again. There was always something new that I experienced when I played it again. Like with a lot of your favorite games, it's not enough just to play through the game once. You might have another game you might want to play through, but a game that's you connect with, you usually always kind of go back to, and that's definitely with Ys Book 1 and 2. Had the characters. It had, of course, the music, which with my TurboGrafx 16 on CD, I remember like after hours going to sleep, I would listen to the music on that CD player. Listen to it because some of the tracks were pretty relaxing.
Dude, some of the music's still great to this day. I must say.
Absolutely.
So Ys, huh?
Yep. Still. You know what? And I'm playing it, and I'm like, you know what? This still is like nice on the eyes.
Right.
With a lot of the 16-bit games are really nice on it. I'll still play Nintendo games or 8-bit games. Those are still fun, but going into the bit era, I don't know, it just still really stands the test of time for me.
Awesome. Yeah, Ys is great. I wouldn't discover Ys though for a while.
Man, it took me until a couple years ago.
Not that long. But they were on 3 by the time I figured it out.
I lucked out for Ys just because growing up not too far from Silicon Valley, I knew someone who worked at NEC. And so he got me my TurboGrafx 16 for like half off. And I got all the games for 50% off. And so I had friends at school who had a TurboGrafx who wanted like a copy of Ninja Spirit. And they're like, hey man, I want to not have to spend, $40 or whatever. I didn't even remember what the retail price was, but I was able to help out a couple of my friends get half price games.
All right. Does anyone else want to, what are your, like Ys? You said John, you don't hear about it forever.
Yeah.
Kag, I don't know if you've ever played an Ys game.
I've played Ys Origins.
Okay.
I got that on the Switch, and I was complaining about how the one guy was like being so mean to the one girl. I was like, he's a dog, man. And he's like dissing her through the whole game. But no, I enjoyed the game. I bought that one, and then I bought the last one because you guys said it was so good, and I haven't got a chance to play it.
Awesome.
Is it Ys 8, Joel, that you suggested? Because you said that start with that one, or
I would start with Ys Origin.
Ys Origins. Okay.
Yeah, it's like 16-bit style, top-down action RPG.
That's what I say start with.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's the very beginning.
I think
of the
Ys
story.
1 and 2 bump system might seem weird to people if you didn't start off with that. And then I think East 8 is a good jumping off point too if you don't have Origin. But yeah.
Okay. Can you pick up a baseball bat and hit somebody over the head in ease? Or is there a chain?
No, it's a sword.
Damn.
It's a sword.
Sorry, I
so.
had double dragon flashbacks. PTSD, sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, Double Dragon Neon. Have any of you played that game?
Oh, it's amazing.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's gone forever, isn't it? It's gone.
Well,
I
if
have
you
it on
downloaded
Steam.
it, you're good.
Uh-oh. Is it
Okay.
gone? Oh, man.
And
heard
lots
it's
of games. You mentioned the TurboGrafx 16, man. I love that console. Splatterhouse. That's the first time I played Splatterhouse. Was on the TurboGrafx 16.
Yeah.
Even though
yeah.
that's not the best version of Splatterhouse on a home console, the best version of Splatterhouse would be on the FM Towns, which
Ooh.
I'm quite sure no one in the chat knows what that is. But from your face, lots of games, you know what that is.
Yep.
And that had the best home version of Splatterhouse sound. It was arcade perfect, man. So, but very, very, very rare to have that game and that console.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Just want to give Kag a shout out. I see all of your statues now. And that's
Oh, yeah.
G.I. Joe and Cobra son in the back.
Yeah.
Yo,
That's all G.I. Joe back there. It's
Pretty
statues
dope.
all over the room, man.
I like it. Got that Baroness in the middle. That's what I'm talking about, son.
Yeah.
So, Kag, you're already blown up. What is it that got you into gaming? What was it that sealed the deal for you? How'd you get into this? 'Cause
All right,
you're
so,
the biggest collector I know.
dude,
And you have
listen.
more stuff than anyone I've ever met in my life.
Okay, so the game, I'll tell you the story in the game. So anybody that knows Ohio, there was an amusement park in Ohio called Geauga Lake. Okay. And we went there every summer when they started doing like the season passes and stuff like that. Hold on, I gotta mute this real quick. We started going there every summer, and I would always play this game called Rampage on the arcade. Loved Rampage. My youngest brother is 4 years younger than me, and he would be at my leg like, bro, let me play, bro, let me play. And I had my quarters lined up on the screen because, you know, I had it locked down or whatever. And I really never kind of like let him play or whatever. I'm like, oh, you're too young, you don't know what you're doing or whatever. So our family ended up getting into a house fire, kind of like losing everything. So my mom would always take us to a store called Children's Palace. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. And she would always let us pick toys. I love G.I. Joes and Transformers, and that's kind of what I was into before gaming. And one day we went to a Children's Palace, and my mom would not let us go in the store for whatever reason. We were in a Nissan Maxima station wagon. That's the car my mom had at the time. And we were like, why won't she let us go in the store? We like all of she's always stay in the car. So my mom comes out of the store, and this is like right after we had a fire. She has her arms behind her back, and she just has like the biggest grin on her face. They're like, yo, what's going on? She pulls an NES action system from behind her back. And we just like, me and my brother went bananas, like just bananas in the car. And she had in there, obviously you got the Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, but she also ended up getting Rampage. And me and my brother went home and played Rampage for literally hours into the night. And I found out how good my younger brother's was because he was whipping my butt in the game, I guess, from watching me play it all the time. And just that relationship with my brother, and all the way up to this day, we still play games together. We still get games together and stuff like that. And just having that relationship and that family atmosphere with him, that just brought me into gaming, and I never left, man. And I'm still here to this day. And I still have the original Rampage game, box, and everything in immaculate condition in my collection in there in the game room. Because my mother did one thing with all our Super Nintendo games. She would give us the cartridge, and she would take the box and manual and put them in a plastic baggie and write our names on them.
Wow.
And store them in a box. Wow. So the majority of my collection that's in mint condition is because of my mom. and she did that. And I have tons of games because of her, man.
That's
So
amazing.
that's why I love games to this day, man. It's all about friends and family and being together, man. And that's what brought me into gaming and turned me into the game crazy guy I am now.
Awesome, man.
Nice.
Man,
I remember getting games back in the day and just ripping open the box to get to the cartridge.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like I had friends who like kept their boxes all nice, and I was like, "Why? It's so dumb." Like, are you trying to tell me that every time you play Zelda, you pull it out of the box? And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Whatever."
Yeah. No, she took our boxes and manuals and she just gave us a cartridge.
Yeah,
And we just had stacks of cartridges on top of the regular Nintendo and on top of the TV and stuff because those cartridges could take a beating. But they also came with the dust covers. You had the black dust covers that they slid into, and that's all she gave us. But my mom was a huge Barbie fan, and she would keep the boxes to Barbies. And she would, when she bought like appliances, she kept the boxes for all that stuff. That was just my mom's thing. She keeps the boxes to everything, dude. It's ridiculous. And I've turned into it. My attic is full of every box for everything I've ever bought. If you went to my attic right now, you would think you were in a game store or a toy store because everything in this room I have the box for. It's ridiculous.
I feel like I don't figure that out till later in life. I think that's once I started collecting comics and realizing, oh, you got to put them in your, the
Sleeve.
with the sleeve
Yes.
and the box,
Board
and then
bag.
the box
Yeah,
and
the
stuff, and then and then you started to realize, oh, when he would sell things like comics, you're like, oh, that crease cost me $50 or whatever,
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So that's I learned that. I don't think I kept. The only boxes I remember having and keeping was like Battle of Olympus because I drew that art all the time, and I just love that box. All right, man, we're still hoping Reggie will come in, but we're gonna get to John from Intrigue Gaming.
Right.
John, let's hear your story. Why?
John.
What got me into
fall
gaming?
in love with it all?
All right. Well, this is way back in 1990. I was a 5-year-old little John, and it was Christmas, and my brother got NES action set with Duck Hunt and Mario Brothers.
Yes.
Not this exact game. I don't know where that went. My brother named me. He has it still. But I was sitting there, I was 5 years old. My brother's 10 years older than me, so he's 15. And we didn't have much money growing up, so this was a big, huge thing for like pretty much the whole family. And I remember sitting there and watching him playing the first level of Mario, and he got a mushroom, and then he ran into it. Then all of a sudden, Mario grew, and that just blew my little mind. I was like, "What? How is this possible?" I had seen my cousins play like Atari before, and it was like some blocks moving around on the screen. And I was like, let's go outside and play, But seeing that, and then with the fireball, what you could do with the fireball, killing enemies, the stars, all the power-ups in Mario, it just blew my mind how they did it. It was like magic to me, and that you could control the character. What you did on the controller happened on the screen. So my brother, being an older brother like Kag, he would never let me play unless he was like at basketball practice or something. So I'd sneak in his room, play the Nintendo, and over time I got better at it. I think sometimes he would give me a controller that wasn't plugged up, on the big brother thing, where I'm thinking I'm playing, but I'm really not. But that's Super Mario Bros. The original one is what really got me starting to play games and into games at a young age. And then I just slowly developed from there. I got a Sega Genesis later on, a couple years later. Then my sister got a Super Nintendo a few years after that. So we ended up having all the systems in the house. And so I got to play a plethora of different systems, not many games. We were still poor, so we didn't have very many games. but at least I got to play a lot of different systems, and that started the love for video games that continues to this day. And I still love Mario Bros. The original. I was so happy when 35th anniversary that on the Switch they did that Mario 35. I played that almost every single day. If I was bored,
that was so much fun.
I would just play that. I don't understand why they won't just keep it up there. But man, great memories, great game, and yeah, it got me here today, I guess.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. We lost. Did we lose Kag Man?
There he is.
No, I'm here.
What about Jimmy?
Yeah, he popped out too.
Did it just boot you or something?
Yeah, it booted me for a second, and it brought me back in.
He'll probably be back, Jimmy.
Yeah, Mario Bros.
Oh yeah, I think something happened in the stream.
I think a lot of people have that origin story with gaming from Mario Bros. Just anyone in my age group, I believe. It's probably one of the first games they're ever introduced into. And then Duck Hunt also. That was so much fun.
Dude,
it took me forever to find out that you had dogs.
Yeah,
I shot that dog so many times.
Yeah.
And then
Remember the dog.
Remember they had the skeet shooting thing too. Not a lot of people talk about that anymore. But I had a lot of fun playing the skeet shooting also.
X-Ray Mike wants to know, did you guys have the NES Power Pad? Sure.
Yes. I would be on the ground instead of running on it. I would use my hands. Yeah.
That's it. Every look at me. Even that's how we did it back then.
Yes. Yep.
That's right. Before DDR, man.
It makes me feel good to know that happened in every household too.
That's how you know you're old. If you know what that is.
Yes.
Jimmy's internet went out.
Oh no.
Wow.
My story's a longer one, I think. Sit back, kids.
Oh, yeah.
Grab a cup of Joe.
Oh, man.
Mine involves really late one night. I hear some ruckus downstairs, and I go down there, and I'm really young. I don't even know what I am. 4, I don't know. I have no idea how old I am. But I remember this, which is crazy. Especially taking in consideration all the drugs I've done in my life. I go downstairs, and my dad's down there, and he's with another guy, and they're in front of the TV, and they're playing something with joysticks. And he goes, "Oh, now you want to play tennis?" And then they take this thing off the screen, and then they put another layout on top of the screen, right? And then they start doing. I'm like, "What the heck is this?" You know? And they seem to be having fun, and they're like, go to bed, right? So I go to bed. I really don't understand what just happened, you know? But our TV wasn't a TV. It was doing something different, right? I know now, of course, and anyone who knows gaming knows exactly, too, what's going on. But then another time, there ends up, like, we had some visitors coming to town, and one of them had an Atari. They had Space Invaders, and they were all in there playing, but they wouldn't let me play. My older sister, all of them, then they wouldn't let me play. And it's kind of like what everyone's, Kag story, they wouldn't let the little brother play. And so I went outside, and it was fall, and all the leaves had just fallen down, and I raked up this huge pile of leaves, and I was jumping in it and like screaming and laughing. And they were looking out the window, and they said, "Man, that looks fun." They all went out and started playing with the leaves. Like, I hustled them. So then I went inside the house, and then I started playing Space Invaders, man.
Nice.
And so Space Invaders is officially the first game I ever played in my life. So I hustled them, right? Oh, here we go. We got the gym master back.
Sorry about that, buddy.
Yeah, no problem. So years later, it seemed like a long time later. Like, I understood what we had an Atari after that, and I played games, but they never really caught me. Like 10 minutes, I'd be bored. I'd want to move on to something else. And then my friend Tony, we lived in this apartment complex, said, "Man, you got to come come here. I'm like, what? He's like, you got, I can't explain it. I said, what? So we went in he lived on the 3rd floor. On the 2nd floor, there was this little Japanese kid. And he's like, you got to check this out. So we knock on the door, and this little Japanese lady opens the door. And it's all dark in their house. And this kid is just playing the Famicom. It wasn't like the Nintendo yet, you know? It was the Famicom from Japan.
Wow.
And he's playing it. And I think the same reaction that John had, I was just like, what is going on here? Like, you know, in Atari, when you ran to the end of the screen, a new screen appeared.
Yeah.
And then you played that screen and the new screen. Yeah. But then when you see Mario, like I remember like when it just kept going. And I was like, wait, what? Like, how does that? It just didn't register in my brain how cool that was. And my mom's here, and we were talking tonight about when all I wanted from that point on was a Nintendo. I just wanted a Nintendo so bad. And for my birthday, she was going to get a Nintendo. She was out all day long. And then finally, like, she comes in to the house and she doesn't have anything in her hands. And I was like, well, where's the Nintendo? And she's like, I'm sorry, son. They're all sold out everywhere. I tried as hard as I could. And I was just like getting ready to bust into tears. I may have at that point already. And then she just like comes around the corner with a Nintendo. She's like, psych, or sucker or something.
Psych. Yeah, everybody used to say psych back in the day.
Yes.
Like,
and it was like the greatest moment of my life. My mom's a joker. Mom!
Your mom rules, man.
You remember hiding the Nintendo from me? She did the same thing to me with Strider on the Sega Genesis as well.
oh,
Strider.
Telling them the story where you act like you couldn't find a Nintendo.
Oh, when I shocked you?
Yeah.
And I went in and said,
You're like, psych.
Best mom ever.
Oh, yeah. And, but it was really like seeing the Nintendo Entertainment Center that I knew this is going to be in my life forever. Like, you just knew gaming was going to be something I was going to do and I sat there and we played Mario and stuff. And I don't know the time frame well, like if Nintendo was already out or if it wasn't out. I didn't play Nintendo. So when I went to school, I was telling them, no, it's just like, I was trying to explain what it looked like and the colors, and no one believed. No one believed me.
Yeah,
but I feel like everyone I knew didn't know what a Nintendo was, so I'm not exactly sure.
But you're trying to explain to them it's a Famicom, and everybody's like, "What?"
I don't even think I knew it was called a Famicom either. So like, I just remember seeing that game for the first time and just really just losing it, man. Like,
yes,
you know. And it's so awesome to be the age that we are, all of us, because we're all, older, and to have really walked through the whole history of gaming, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's something like I wouldn't change for nothing, you know? Like I think about sometimes like, man, like all these big, huge free MMOs, like I can't imagine Genshin Impact being out when I was a kid and had all the time in the world, you know? But like to me, it was like just that the whole experience of buying video games, watching, what the next gen graphics were going to look like, wondering if this game you just spent $59 on is going to suck or not because you can't just take it back, stuff like that. Those were some great.
Yeah, you had to go off the box art, which was very misleading.
Yeah.
Oh,
or
yes.
like if you're lucky, if a friend had a subscription to like Nintendo Power or something, Before
the box art, I think the box art is what sold probably 80% of the games. Going from, I would definitely on Atari because some of that box art was amazing.
Yes.
And what you got on Atari was trash.
It was like
so those artists back then is crazy. And come to find out that there are people that heavily collect artwork, box artwork, original illustrations for video games, and they go for high dollar, man. It's crazy.
Nice. I actually have a book of nothing but the artwork from the Atari games. It's like a big, huge, thick book just for fun. I was like,
that's
yeah, why not?
probably the system with the best box art, if you think about it, you know?
Because they're like, a lot of them are painted and
yes,
all beautiful.
It's like that 80s style, just right in your
Yeah.
face, you know?
And you think you're buying this epic journey, and then you turn it on, and it's like 2 dots and they're moving around.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that is it, guys. That was our episode of What Got Us Into Gaming. Let us know your stories in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm going to put the description of all these fine people over here, their channels, where you can find them, and go give them a sub. You will not be disappointed. And hey, thanks, guys, everyone, for joining in the chat. Thank you, Jimmy, John, Kag, and Phat Samurai Guy, our special guest tonight. Appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Thank you.
When some wild-eyed 8-foot-tall maniac grabs your neck, taps the back of your favorite head up against a barroom wall, and he looks you crooked in the eye, and he asks you if you've paid your dues, well, you just stare that big sucker right back in the eye, and you remember what old Jack Burton always says at a time like that. Have you paid your dues, Jack? Yes, sir, the check is in the mail. Yes, sir, the check is in the mail. Yes, sir, the check is in the mail.